JB here. Hope everyone's doing outstanding. Tuesday, June 10th, 328. Talk really quick about the market. Some names I'm looking at go from the S&P in the green, up about a 0.5% here. Was chopping around for most of the morning and then the afternoon with some dips. And then finally, about 2:45 or so, reports out. Well, Besant, um, let's see, I don't know the exact quote on the, the headline, but okay, Commerce Secretary Lutnick says trade talks going well. Maybe there'll be update tonight, tomorrow, who knows? But uh, enough to kind of like put a little bid into the markets. And yeah, here we are, right at the upper Bollinger Band. 603 is the upper Bollinger Band on the SPY. We were up to 603.47 for a flash. Back down here at 602. Uh, just good stuff here. And you take a look at the market since April 7th. I just posted it before Nasdaq's up over 26%. The S&P was up 19%. So, I mean, technically speaking, once it gets to 20, it's a new bull market. And I mean, just a couple months ago, people were calling for the biggest crash the market's ever seen, right? And here we are, uh, back back above those levels. I mean, of course, it's been a bumpy ride. Wasn't easy. But if you didn't have an open mind and you just just got the puts like most of these perma bears who've been spewing this stuff for years. That's what in the midst of the lows when it was 480 on the SPY. That's what that's when they get the boldest and the loudest. And if you just listen to that, you would be not in good shape. But anyway, so that's kind of where we are right now. We have CPI data tomorrow morning. I mean, that's going to be like a critical piece of data. I mean, it's I mean, it's pretty obvious. It just has to be somewhat in line, maybe even just a tad hotter than expectations. Maybe that would be somewhat I wouldn't say expected, but wouldn't cause too much craziness with markets. But if it's much higher than expectations, the market's probably going to sell off 1 or 2%. On the flip side, if it's cooler than expectations, crazy. I'm not saying we get all-time highs tomorrow, but maybe we can hold the gain 604, 605, which are key spots. And it'll be certainly interesting stuff. So that's kind of like the overall markets. Take a look at the SPY tight trading range until just a little while ago. Low was 599. The high early before the big jump was 602. So another tight trading range similar to the day before. And now we're before the big candle. So all good stuff here. After the close today, right? That we got the infamous GameStop earnings. Happy GameStop earnings day if you celebrate. A little joke there, but keep talking about that. I think it's not. Of course, it's not about its core business. Is all about what their plans are in regards to how much Bitcoin did they buy more? Are they going to announce more? What did they use? Are they going to do more offerings? And then, of course, the wild card or the bonus would be if their core business is showing improvements. So uh, I think as long as it's kind of like inline quarter and then they can announce some positive updates, I think it trades up near 40 in the coming weeks. That's been my thought. And then maybe you start getting some FOMO as people start to see Ryan Cohen's vision or what have you. So that's kind of GameStop. So that'll be interesting after the close. I'll wait till after earnings to see if I add some more strikes. Speaking of adding strikes, finally back in Roku. My thought process here was I was going to get some weekly strikes. And the thing is, the stock's up 5 sessions in a row, right at its upper Bollinger Band. But I figure if there's follow through tomorrow with the CPI, you have a lot of those, some events. You have the HBO Max, the spin off there. It's just more content provider catalyst, I think, that just bodes well for Roku. And then you start looking, the 85 handle, or I think it was 84 and change back in March. That's like a key spot. So I think if it gets over that, it's off the races. I didn't want to be chasing. Um, you know, I watched it all day yesterday. I watched it on Friday. So uh, I just went and got the inexpensive calls, and I'll continue to hold those because I think if it breaks 85 in the coming sessions, those will be some nice bags. So that's Roku. VKTX finally moving. I don't see any news or catalyst. Looks like some of the small cap GLP-1 names that turned Altimmune are all rallying too. Altimmune's up 13%, turns up 12%. I don't know if it's a whole sector thing. I don't know if there was news or catalyst. I didn't see anything outside the huge call volume. Early this morning was like 20,000 calls and like 600 puts purchased. Now it's 30,000 calls traded on VKTX versus 2,700 puts. Doesn't mean that, it could be all bullish trades. It has a high short interest. Some of that could be, folks hedging themselves, but could be cause for some of the volatility here. The good thing is the premiums have went up in the calls. My August strikes are solidly in the green. Still looking at possibly getting those July 40s, just because if it rallies into the data, even without having data or what have you, I think those calls can be nice gainers. Lock those in, then just ride to August. So maybe some I'll visit tomorrow. W and Lemonade, I wouldn't say disappointing here, but Wayfair is going to make it 7 straight sessions in a row to the upside, pending any 27-minute shenanigans. Uh, I'll just continue to hold the rest of my freebie 50s. Um, in lieu of trying to get some more strikes. Maybe tomorrow, as you know, as we get closer to expiration, I still think it trades up over 50 in the coming days. So if that's my thought process, I might as well start. Maybe I'll lock the rest of the 50s in and do some further out of money strikes for a nice monster trade. This one has been. And then Lemonade, well, I would say disappointing. It's green here, up 1.5%, but the premiums aren't up as much as I would like it to be. Uh, Even when it was near flat today, my 45 strikes were red. But it just uh, so anyway, I still like this one too. I mean, it's nice to see it here up in the green. Would love to see it over 42 before the close, but at some point, I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. I might just lock the rest of my 45s in and revisit with some less expensive strikes. Uh, that's Lemonade Joby sitting here at 950. Similar, I keep putting on the watch list. I might add some more strikes, but it's been volatile as well, all the way up to 960, down to 920 at 1115. Well, it was 957 or so, then down to 920, and then back up to 960. Maybe once it breaks over 10 bucks, I'll look for some spec lot or more calls there. That's Joby. I'm trying to think of some of the other names. Let's see here. Do I have this up here? No. Okay. Travel Zoo. So up near 1390 here today. It's getting added to the Russell 2000, 3000. When especially on a name like Travel Zoo, number one, those funds that couldn't invest in some of these small cap names, they get invested, right? And then you have ETFs that are invested. That money gets piled in, and then just as a function of being part of it, the the index, it gets money. So because of that, Travel Zoo will become more liquid, right? So I mean, typically when you see an addition, it gets upward upward action, which it is right now. I thought it'd be higher after the news this morning, but it's kind of melting higher here today. I'm going to be patient, but some point I'll add more strikes here. Uh, it's up here at 14. I still think it heads to 20 bucks in the coming weeks and months. And that's it, folks. Let's have a great afternoon. Let's go GameStop. I'll be back on audio later. Rock and roll.